Hello everybody. So it is Thursday the 12th of December, but it feels like a Friday. But to be honest, I did so much overtime over the last few weeks, it's felt like a Friday since Monday. I think I ended up doing 30 hours between Thursday to Sunday, and then because I did another 5 hours or so on my data annotation stuff, I've done close to 35 hours of overtime this week. So I'm pretty tired, but I am very happy because my eldest is coming home from university. And it's the longest they've ever been away because they only started in September. So yeah, having not seen them since September, I'm really looking forward to seeing them. And since they've been away, they've actually turned vegan. So I've no idea how I'm going to cook for them because I am definitely a bit of a meat lover myself. But we have been around all supermarkets trying to make sure there's food in for them. And I think, I remember from my time at university, going home to your parents and raiding the fridge was always kind of like a highlight of coming home. Because when you're on a budget and you're just kind of like struggling on very basic foods, any kind of variety or just little things like a can of Coke or something can seem like a huge luxury. So I'm making sure that we're gonna really have some nice food in for them. There's a really nice cake shop near us called Cakebox. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but I believe they do vegan cakes, and we've had quite a few cakes from them before, and they're always really nice. So it's a bit of a luxury. They're not cheap, but that's why you do the overtime, isn't it? So I'm going to get them a nice big cake, so they got plenty of yummy food. I'm just looking forward to treating them, to be honest. We've got the day out on Wednesday. I've got next Wednesday off. My wife's still at work. And we're going to have a day in London, I think. So we're probably going to go to like different museums and do the whole touristy thing, which I haven't done with them for ages. So yeah, really excited. They do say absence makes the heart grow fonder, doesn't it? And I know when they were home, there were definitely things they did that were a bit annoying sometimes, a little bit irritating. But really miss them, I've got to be honest. And in addition to that, other things have been going pretty well. Managed to lose £4 this week in my weigh-in this morning, which I really needed because I had an unexpected gain last week of £1. And I think that's just because I've been so busy. Work's been quite stressful over the last few weeks that maybe I've been snacking a little bit more than I have been. And also just cooking healthily, the time hasn't really been there. And on the main channel, I'm actually planning on doing a couple of reviews of a couple of jackets I've ordered. One of them is really well known, it's quite popular, and it is the 4-Class MT100 down jacket from Decathlon. And it's really popular because it's a full down jacket, but it's £60. And a lot of reviews have been done where they've compared this to the kind of really top brands that cost like £230, £240, and it stacks up comparable against them. So really curious to see how this jacket works. So I'm going to do a review on that. But also because everyone's done the review on how it stacks up against the more expensive jacket, I'm actually curious to see how it stacks up against the cheapest of the cheap. So I've ordered a padded insulated jacket, packable style, very similar, from Asda of all places. And for those of you abroad, Asda is just like a local supermarket. It is not what you consider to be an outdoor brand. But this thing's £23, so I'm just curious to see what sort of job it does. And I don't just want to be, subjective and talk about the cut and the style and all the rest of it. I actually want to see how it performs. So I've also ordered a thermometer that works on Bluetooth, so I can wear the thermometer under the jacket and read the temperature on my phone, and then get an idea of, how it actually performs in terms of keeping you warm. Because for me, being out into the outdoors, that's what I'm most interested in. I'm not too worried about how I look in terms of style. I am worried about keeping warm and keeping safe. And if the Asda jacket's any good, given it's £23, it actually has a lot of other advantages other than just the cost, because it's an artificial wadding, artificial insulation. And the benefit of that is it stays warm when it's wet. The down stuff is very good. The down stuff is fantastic. It's very warm for the weight. But as soon as it gets wet, it loses its insulation. The artificial stuff doesn't. And when you're in the UK, where it rains a lot of the year, Actually, having a jacket that stays warm when it's wet can be a huge advantage. And I'm also going to look at the difference between having a hood and non-hood, because the Asda one hasn't got a hood. And I think that is a good thing to try as well, because I think that's going to make it more comfortable, you know, underneath a waterproof. But we'll see. So that one should be coming out soonish. The down jacket comes this week, so I should be able to get that for Friday, have a couple of walks with it, and then do the review over the weekend, or initial review anyway, initial first thoughts. The Asda one, that's not going to come until next week. But when that comes, I will do the full comparison and see what it's like. So stay tuned, and that should be coming up soon. But I'm coming up to a road, so I better watch the dogs, and hopefully I'll see you next time.